What's going on, everybody? I have a nice video coming up for you guys today. We are gonna be installing Lightingtrendz Halos on the Chrysler 300. So we got our package from Lightingtrendz and we opened it up and realized that there was something missing. We got the first time instructions on how to use a controller, instructions on how to wire the stuff up, the halos, the driver boxes, that's what they call them, drivers. 4 of them because it's 1 per halo, the remote, and then I guess the brains of everything, which is this thing. But we did not receive a connection to the battery, which is this right here. We contacted them, they shipped it out right away, received it in like 2 days. So we're gonna be installing this in the 300, so just stay tuned. So in this Chrysler, you have to remove these fasteners up here. Was broken, so I'm gonna put that there and then proceed to these. This one broke too. So now that that's taken apart, the whole top is loose now. Now we have to move over to the side. I'm gonna get in there and turn the wheel that way so you have more room to take those out. I already started taking that one out. Those ones out. There. Oh, this one up here. There we go. So right here, you gotta take off this 10mm. Yep, that's how it is. You gotta pull this, and because it goes inserted in the mud guard thing, the fender liner. So now we go to the other side.
Did you have the keys?
Yes.
And what is it?
In my pocket.
Mommy, we had it.
Pictures of him. I just added again to him being
And what I think?
While taking that time to
Échame luz aquí.
he deserves.
This one has no 10mm. Oh yeah, it does. Ya miro este. Turn it para arriba. Turn it para arriba. Para acá. Otra vez para abajo. Para abajo. Ahora para acá. Para abajo. Para arriba. Okay, I think it's out. Yeah.
Okay. Then
These are all just clips that have to come out. And that one actually broke. Yeah. See how it's all loose now? So now I go to the bottom. Now I have to take off all these, starting with this one. These are all 8mm. These screws are actually missing, so next one is this one.
Well,
I know. Looks like I just have one more to go. Looks like I can just take off this harness right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, put it down on the floor.
hold it.
Mira.
Okay.
Mira, está broken. Now, take off the headlight. You take off that one, and that one, and that one. Dale para arriba aquí así. Dale, dale, dale.
Ya está trabajando.
Ya, ahora de acá, para arriba.
Quitamos el bumper del carro.
Dale para arriba. Para arriba. Para arriba. Ahora otro. Mira, de aquí. Dale para arriba. Good job, Milo.
So what should do?
Just wait for me. Agarra ese,
¿Qué?
el tornillo, agárralo, que no te caiga. Thank you. So this harness, you push back. I don't know if you can see this red tab. You push it, press down, and push at the same time. There, like that. And then the harness should come right off. And you got your headlight.
Look, it's looking like an egg.
And just so you won't lose them, you can put these back on. Para arriba, abajo. Sí. So I've been working on the lights for a while. I started with the fog lights since they're easier to mess with, I guess, because they're smaller. And I ended up separating this one, and it has that sealer on it, and it was pretty hard. So I opened it up because I thought these went on the inside, but if you look, it's way too big for the fog light. So I called Lightingtrendz, and yes, I did notice that they have this coating on them. But I didn't know that it was waterproof, because if you look here, it has a little bit wire exposed or something. So I was trying to figure out how I can put them inside, but no, you can't. So I am starting on the second one right now. So I paused on the other one. This is the one that I started first. And what I did is that it's gonna go mounted right there. And since it's on the outside, I just drilled the bezel right here. I drilled like a hole sideways, longer sideways than just round, and I fed the wire through there, and then the halo is gonna sit like that. The way that I'm gonna secure it is that I'm gonna drill 3 little holes, or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm just gonna use some little wire to hold it on to the bezel, because they do come with double-sided tape, but when you put it on here, that's kind of useless. It doesn't have enough contact space with it. And the reason I drilled a hole is so that it won't be like this. I don't want it to be crooked. And the fog light actually sits like this, and it's gonna be hitting this. So when I drilled the hole, it's actually coming through here, and I'll show you with the other one. If you can see that, it looks okay, and then that's how the wires are going through. And what I'm gonna do with the other one is that I'm gonna make this, if you can see, I'm gonna make this hole way longer this way, so that it has more room to go in. Right now I'm gonna drill a small hole up here, one on the bottom, one on the side, line it up the best I can, and then just put a little wire in between the lights. and just hold it on like that. And it's really hard to see that. So that's how it goes. It just pulls out of there, and then you feed these through that hole. See? Here we go. Probably don't even have to do it that much. I just got a little carried away. You know, just push it back or pull it. Whoops. So I'm gonna try to feed these through this hole. Oh yeah, it helps to separate these. Separate those. There you go. So the wires are through, but then the hard part, hopefully I don't have such a hard time to feed this black thing through. Just had to drill the hole a little bit bigger. Try to make it through there. A little easier. If not, I'll just do what I did with the other light and just use a heat gun and heat it up. This is how I'm feeding it through the hole right there. And then right now I use the heat gun to be able to get this part through. And it just chewed it up a little bit, but maybe I used a little too much heat. Right here I'm gonna use a little bit of heat to get this black connector through. So if you see, this one is much better than the other one. So if you see, this is how it's gonna go. It goes through that hole. This is the top, and it's gonna be like this. I'm almost done with these. So yeah, this is how it's gonna look. Pretty cool. So I drilled those 3 holes, and I'm feeding some little wire through it, and that's how I'm gonna secure it. I don't see other way of doing it that's not too time consuming. So I'm just gonna thread those together, twist them together. They'll end up looking like that. So we'll see how they look once they're on the car. This is how it looks from the outside. That's a little fog light halo. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna get started on the headlight now. I'm gonna start heating this part up right here. And as it's separating, I'm gonna probably insert these, just the tips in there, and keep it from coming back. And I'll be working my way around all the way through here. So I'm using these little trim piece removers to pry it open because the screwdriver is actually damaging it right there. And just with the heat being applied, it's starting to separate by itself. As you see, it's already opening there. I just have to carry that all the way around. And the good thing about this one is that I didn't see any screws holding it together. Just a few clips. This one down here, here, and here. And another reason why I didn't put this in the oven is because these lights are the self-aligning, self-leveling lights. So I wasn't comfortable heating all that stuff up to like 200 degrees. So I'm gonna try to focus the heat just around this area, and hopefully I can get those separated without too much hassle.
Mrs. Van Tassel? Where are you? Let's try in there. What was that? A coolie! Coolies aren't...
So I've been hitting this for almost an hour now. And it looks like we're about to pull this apart. So this is the lens, and that's the light. And that's the reason why I didn't want to put it in the oven. Look at all that. It's like a circuit board. Maybe the oven would have messed it up. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. The halo obviously goes here. It has a 3M tape. I would hate to have to take this apart. Okay, so I went ahead and removed this piece off of here. And the reason I took this off is because the halo is going to be mounted right here. And it does have 3M tape, but I don't trust the tape. And then this thing, this connector, makes it lopsided. Like it's not sitting on there flat. I don't even know if I should drill into this. Okay, so this is where I am right now. Took this little bezel off of that lens. So I might need to drill a hole here to pass the wire through, or just lay it flat as I can. Because, oh, and another thing is that if I leave it like this, if I just run the wire like that, you're gonna be able to see that wire through here, like from nail going to the inside. And I don't know if I want that, so I'm gonna try to figure out if I drill this, if I still be able to mount it on this with no problem. I don't want it to interfere with this stuff. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. See if I have enough room for the wire to go through and out of the way of everything where you won't be able to see it. And it won't interfere with the movement, because this thing, when the car starts, it goes like up and down and stuff. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. Right, so it's almost 2 in the morning now. I got one light done. I didn't drill the bezel. I ended up just putting it on the side. And I already tested it. And I think the most dramatic movement is when you turn on the car. And I already tested it and it still works. Like it still goes down and then up. So I'm just going to leave it like that. You can see the wires right there. Not sure if that's how it's meant to be, but I didn't want to drill the bezel in there. Getting it back on was kind of a pain. I think I put too much sealant. So this light is still open. And in order to get it on there, I removed these 4 screws. This one, they're through the back, but they thread in there, back there. And then when you do that, when you take that off, you have to be careful because this part falls off, and so does this right here. And it has a little motor on one side right there, and that stuff comes off. So this one hopefully clears a little more. If you notice the other one over there that's already put together, it kind of does rub the housing when you put it on, but it still has enough room to move. And so you can see this whole thing is what goes down and is up. So hopefully this has a little bit more room. And that's how I wired it, because if not, I was gonna have to cut the bezel over here, and I don't know if it's gonna have enough room with all this stuff in the back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it like that. Alright, so I'm back out here at the car. It's the next day already, and I'm getting ready to put the lights on the car. I am gonna be putting the power cord here, and then a ground, either one of those right there, and then that little box, the controller, I guess the brain, about right here. And then from there I'll start running. I'll put a driver somewhere under here for the headlight, and then I'll probably put the driver for the fog light down here. Make the wire stick out through there, and then I'll run the cable for the other side along under here. Maybe put the box somewhere here. Not sure exactly where yet. And then driver for the fog light will probably have to be right next to the one for the headlight, because there's not much room down here. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the headlights first. Alright, so I did not film the actual installation and wiring of all the wires inside. I think I had the Canon that day, and it wasn't, I don't know, it was being weird, and I just decided to just go because I was late for work and stuff, so I didn't record. But this is the way it looks. You see the halo inside the headlight. This has been here for almost 10 months. That one is the fog light, and then on the driver's side, that's it right there. And right now you're gonna see how the lights move up and down, and the wire being right here doesn't affect it. And nobody has ever noticed that wire there, unless I told them that it was there. Nobody has noticed the little wires holding it either. So as you can see, this is how the car looks right now. I'll show you here quickly right under the hood. So this is how it looks under the hood. This is where I got the power from right here, and it's a little burnt up. If you've seen my other, I have another video. Make sure not to wire this between this harness and the base. Just put it on top, take off the nut, put it on top, put the nut back on. This is the fuse, that's the brains. It's a little melted up. It gets real hot down here. And then this is a ground, one of the grounds. This is where I use another ground, because each little driver box has to be grounded. So that's one of the driver boxes, and then I ran some cable through here to the other side. That's where it is. Just zip tied it to these ABS lines, I think that's what they are. And then there's a driver box somewhere in here, and then this is the wire that goes into the headlight. And then the driver for the fog light, for both of them, they were zip tied to the bumper, the actual metal bumper that's under here. So this is how it looks. It hasn't given me any trouble except for that wiring, and I'm really glad with the results. I'm really happy about them. So let's see if we can get these things to move. So like you just saw, the lights move when you turn on the car. That wire does not interfere, it moves just fine. Whenever I turn the wheel, when I'm going slow, these lights turn, and they don't rub or anything. So I'm really happy with this little mod, even though it took a while. And I have gotten a lot of compliments on these halos. It looks really good, like you will see in these few clips.